So we all have the time in our lives where we are just like Nehemiah. We just have to rebuild the wall because there are ups and downs in this walk. There are ups and downs. I don't want to say life is difficult. I don't want to say life is hard. I don't want to say it's unfair. But every day of our lives, every minute and every second, your true identity is being tested. Same thing as Christ. He could have been tested on any other thing, but it was his identity that was being tested, that if you are the Son of God, if you are this, if you are that, right? So Nehemiah chapter 4 verse 14, let me read it. It says, after I looked things over, I stood up and said to the nobles, the officials, and the rest of the people, don't be afraid of them. Remember the Lord, who is great and awesome, and fight for your families, fight for your sons, and fight for your daughters, fight for your wives, and fight for your homes. 15. When our enemies heard that we were aware of their plot and that God had frustrated it, we all returned to the wall, each to our own work. Each to our own work. Let me just go on. From that day on, right? So Nehemiah is calling these people, like, I can see Ale Shabu and whatever, you're going through so much. And he says to them, but remember the Lord, who is great and awesome. But also fight for your families, fight for your wives, fight for your sons, fight for your daughters, fight for your homes. And then from that day on, half of my men did the work, while the other half were equipped with spears, shields, bows, and armors. The officers posted themselves behind all the people of Judah who were building the wall. Those who carried materials did their work with one hand, and held a weapon in the other. And each of the builders wore his sword at his side as he worked. But the men who sounded the trumpet stayed with me. Already here, I can see myself. I can see my journey in this walk. Guys. Especially when your identity is being challenged and you come to a point where sometimes you even question yourself. It's not that you don't know yourself or anything like that, but you come to that threshold, you come to the shaking floor where you are wondering, you know, but you know that your God is awesome, you know that your God is great. But the Bible says in that moment of insecurities, in that moment where you don't know what to do or how to react or whatever, or you are being challenged, the Bible says that continue to fight. Think about those who come after you. Think about your family. Think about your sons. Think about your daughters. Think about your family. Think about your wives. Think about your homes. It's not about you. Your identity being challenged, Christ's identity being challenged, was not about him, but it was to mess up the redemption plan. You understand? So if he had lost himself or didn't even understand who he was, we wouldn't be here. No. Because he would have, threw in the towel, or rather aborted the mission. He would have aborted the mission. And so when it comes to us, when you are faced with a lot of things, when you are challenged, when you are not okay, the wall, and there are not enough resources, because here you have to fight with one hand, and with the other hand you have to, so it's not easy. It's painful, but we are told here, continue fighting. Think about those who come after you. Think about those who are dependent on you. Think about souls that have not yet been won. Think about your kids. Fight for your homes. Like, if Koena want to be strong, even the strong one. I like Nehemiah's character here. Like, he's so brave. I like verse 23. After all has been said and done, he says, where is it? Yeah, 23. Neither I, nor my brothers, nor my men, nor my guards with me took off their clothes. I didn't take off my clothes. My guards didn't take off their clothes. My men, all of my men didn't take off their clothes. Each had his weapon. Even when we went for water, even when we slept. They were always at war, these people. They knew the mandate. They knew what they were supposed to do. Painful as it is. I mean, I Googled the bricks that were used to rebuild the wall. Huge. And it says weapons. Think about that. But then after everything else, Nehemiah still comes and says, in those pains, I'm sure their hands were bruised. So in those pains and everything, we kept our swords on our sides. And when we went to bed, we did not take out our clothes. We did not take off our clothes of war. We wore them even when we were sleeping. So this means that there's no sleeping here. It's not about you. I know that you're feeling the pain. I know that you're upset. I know that you're hurt. I know that you're hurting. Your soul is crying out. I know that it feels like nobody's taking sides with you. Sometimes you want an instant response from God and you're not hearing anything. Sometimes you're trying to read the word and you don't understand anything. I understand that, but stay there. Like stay there. The Bible says, remember the Lord your God, who is great and awesome. And then while you are busy remembering his awesomeness and his goodness, fight for your family. Fight for those who come after you. You can't let the devil win this time. He won't. You can't let him. Who's going to win? You can't let the enemy win. So rebuild that wall. Get up again. Dust yourself. Continue fighting, even when you feel like you need to rest and whatever. Keep your clothes of war on and your sword by your side. And Nehemiah is talking about him and his brothers and his men and his guards. So who are those people around you? Who are those people that are helping you? Who are those people that you are talking with? Are they people fit enough to sleep babiri? They are fighting again. Are they those people? Or highly good night, choose your friends wisely. I like to say that chill around people who fan your flames, okay? Who will keep you burning. Because people who lie to you, quench that fire. People who esteem you so high and keep on patting you in the back, they will also quench your fire. So stick around people who have the same fire as you. Like Nehemiah here, he had a very great squad. So final words, there's no quitting. You can't fail, and the devil can't win. Can't.